When there's this much poverty in an area, in a community, it impacts all levels of life. And one of the things that just disappears are options and opportunities. And so for these children to have an oasis, an education here at this school with teachers who love them, who support them in their journey, gives them an open door where they can walk through to the opportunities that are ahead of them. And so they can graduate all the way through grade 12 here and have many, many options available to them for their future career, which helps them build a family that is no longer caught up in this whole generational poverty situation. The Anchor School and Orphanage is located in central Zambia, and it is for the purpose of providing education to children who otherwise would not have an opportunity. It's a beautiful campus on a reservoir, and it's surrounded just in an amazing setting. Even when you're in the middle of the campus, you feel like you're in the woods. And so these children have a place where it is safe for them to learn. And in fact, just talking with some of the girls that are graduating this year, they're not looking forward to leaving. They've had such a great experience here that they want to stay. But of course, they're now moving out into opportunities that they would not have had if this education had not been available to them here at Anchor School. Anchor School started because Kennedy and Ronnie, husband and wife, had a vision for their own kids. They wanted to provide some homeschooling for them so that they could have an Adventist education. Well, some other children decided that they were interested in joining in, and so they began to participate in the homeschooling program. Pretty soon it began to grow so big that Mrs. Ronnie felt like maybe she needed to send the children back home, but then she found out that many of them are orphans. And she said, how can I send these orphans home when they too need an education? So what started for her own children ended up into this huge school that's here today. Anchor is located several hour drive from Riverside Farm, where Child Impact's been involved for some time. And so on my first visit to Zambia, I was able to visit Anchor School, and I was so excited to be here because you see local individuals who put their whole heart, everything, into the success of this school. And so as you looked at the sacrifices they are making, it became very clear that by partnering with them, we could help to ease that burden, and we could also help take the education that is happening here to the next level. Driving here, right now we're in the dry season, the roads are very dusty, but you could see occasionally a school here and there. These are government schools, and then you come here, it's like an oasis. And there's an opportunity not only to have an education with the subjects of school, but also there's training in the area of character and values, and there's a church located here. So these children get to know Jesus, and they leave totally transformed, not just in their minds through education and knowledge, but in their hearts through finding Jesus and a relationship with Him. So they go out into the workforce, into the world where they're now employed, and they are working in a way where there's character and there's values that are exhibited in their lives. Back in our home office, we have profiles that we put up on the internet of children that need to be sponsored, and some of those children are from this school in Zambia, this school Anchor that we're at right now. And when you get to meet these children in person, and you see that they have real needs. Right now we're doing a dental clinic here, and you see that they need attention with their dental care. And you can see that these children come from a poor background, but you see how they're being surrounded with love, with an atmosphere where they can flourish, where they can grow, and where they can begin to dream. When we ask children, what would you like to be when you grow up? All of them have an answer. They have a goal for their life. And it's really exciting to know through sponsorship that that may actually become a reality for them, that this is something, a path that they can choose, that they can decide that they want to pursue, and they can have success in doing it.
I came here in grade 8. I was very poor in my academics. So as I came here, I improved in my academics. I guess it's the teachers because they conduct lessons very seriously.
Now here it's important because teachers they care a lot. like in terms of academic?
The people that I found here, like the teachers, they really helped me because they taught me the importance of education, yeah, and they inspired me in that.
Well, I can say I never knew how to worship, but this school taught me how to worship God and take devotion seriously.
This school has helped me a lot in knowing how to interact with others in different ways and understanding that we come from different backgrounds. Yeah, so I need to treat others the way I want to be treated. I've also learned about God, how to love God and how to trust Him.
Since Anchor has grown in capacity, lots more students have been coming. There's been a need to increase their capacity to take in more students. The girls' dorm was overflowing. It was jam-packed, wall to wall. Multiple girls were sleeping in the same bed, and we really saw a need to expand the dormitory. And so that was our big project here last year, to expand the capabilities of the dormitory to house more girls much more comfortably for them. And then there was another issue, and that was water. Water is life in these communities. It is so dry and dusty here. We could hardly see driving behind other vehicles. And so the need for water is huge. So another project that Child Impact has focused on is building water towers with brand new tanks and a whole new water system to take water across this entire campus. So everyone has fresh, drinkable water right next to their dorms, right next to their classrooms. And it's been such a blessing to see the difference that clean water has made here on campus.
Even though there is now a dormitory, the girls are having to fill up buckets, pump water, fill up buckets, and carry it to a distant, very tiny room that they go into to have privacy to take a shower with the bucket. In addition, the toilets that they're using are very primitive. They're also a distance away. And so the next step to really complete this dormitory is to put in a toilet and a shower block that these girls can use, so they don't have to walk some distance, maybe in the middle of the night, to be able to use the toilet, or wait some time before they can get a shower. They'll have enough facilities to care for all these girls that live in the dormitory. In the boys' dormitory, we noticed the excellent construction of the bunk beds. This is something that was funded by Child Impact, and they're very sturdy. I mean, these bunk beds are not going anywhere, but they are super hard to sleep on, and these boys practically had no padding between them and this hard metal.
I've been to some schools where kids have been sleeping on sheets of plywood with a small sheet on top of it, and it's totally unacceptable. None of us would sleep that way at home. And so one of the needs that we identified here at Anchor was every child needed to have a mattress. And so one of the first projects that we implemented was buying brand new mattresses for the students here at Anchor.
At projects like Anchor, the needs are always greater than the resources that are available. So anything that can be done locally to help support the cost, to help support what it takes to run the ministry, we want to support that any way we can. And so here they wanted to grow tomatoes. And so they've done that, and right now they have some plants growing for the next crop that they're going to be harvesting in the next several months. This gives them additional food that they can provide here on campus, as well as some things that they can sell in the local market to help support the ministry here at Anchor. Visiting a project in person is super important. When that's done, you're able to see firsthand what the most urgent needs are. Again, the needs are so great in many of these projects that we can end up at Child Impact with a long list of things that are needed. But what's priority? What is urgent that will make the biggest difference? And so those kinds of projects are funded through where needed most. And so when we saw the needs here last time on my visit to Anchor, we immediately began work to fulfill some of those needs, to meet those needs through our Where Needed Most fund. And so on my last visit, we were able to identify particularly the need with the girls' dormitory to be finished, and with some of those regulations related to COVID and 2 or 3 girls sleeping in the same bed, we knew that we needed to respond right away. And because of this Where Needed Most fund that many generous donors had supported, we were able to meet that need right away. Part of sponsorship through Child Impact involves a noon meal, and for dormitory students, it involves all 3 meals. I was so excited today to see how many children are receiving a nutritious meal here at Anchor. That has multiplied since the last time I visited. And what we want to do is to be able to provide them an easier way to cook food for these children because the needs have just multiplied.
Here at Anchor, we're adding even more students to our sponsorship program because all of the ones that we currently have been sponsored, which is fantastic. And today I had the privilege of taking photos for our sponsorship page online. And I met some beautiful children and their families who had traveled a long distance to get here. One lady had traveled even further than we had to get here, and we were in the van for over 4 hours. She had come because she had heard today our sponsorship team was going to be on site, and she brought some of her relatives to sign them up for sponsorship. And so it was really touching to see how invested these family members are in helping their relatives and their children make sure that they get a quality Seventh-day Adventist education here at Anchor.
Our dream at Child Impact for these children is that they are able to pursue their dreams. They are born many times with so many obstacles in front of them. And when we can help to remove those obstacles, we provide a clear path for them to pursue. It is so exciting to see them have opportunities now that are in front of them. Additionally, this is an Adventist mission school where these children can come to know Jesus. So there's really 2 dreams, for them to fulfill their dreams in this life and in the life to come. The needs here in central Zambia are enormous. Kennedy and his wife, Mrs. Ronnie, they stepped into a gap and they met the need, and so many children, hundreds of children, are being blessed. When I was able to visit here the first time, I noticed many urgent needs, especially the girls' dormitory. We were able to step in and meet those needs through the Where Needed Most Fund. And we met several other urgent projects as well. Right now, we would like to finish the shower and toilet block for the girls' dormitory and also for the primary girls. You can support this through Child Impact's Where Needed Most Fund by going to childimpact.org or by calling our office at 423-910-0667. Thank you for making a difference for these orphans and these children right here in central Zambia. May God bless you.